Hello beautiful people, it's Earth Mother D back with another reading. So y'all, I finally got some new decks and I'm so excited. Let's do a little haul. The Green Witches deck of magical herbalism, and I just feel like this is perfect because I'm a holistic girly, so merging like herbs and stuff with like spirituality and spell work, this is right up my alley, so I'm very excited. And then we also have the What's the Tea Oracle. This oracle is very famous on TikTok, like super famous, so I'm super excited about this, and I just know some funny shit gonna come out with this deck. Last but certainly not least, we have the African Goddess Rising Oracle. I was trying to show it to you guys, but because of like the material, it's very shiny, so it's like reflecting, like the sun that's coming in my room is like reflecting off of it, so it's not focusing. But it's by a woman called Aboata Adams. I probably said that wrong. But this is the same woman that I got my Ancestor Oracle deck from. So I just got another one for her, but it's so beautiful. It's so, oh my God, y'all. I'm so excited to use this deck with the readings that I do for you all. I've already been using it for myself, and it's been tea. It's been tea, period. Okay, so for today's reading, I want to do like a health reading. Okay, sorry y'all, I had to get my camera together. But so I'm going to start with the Green Witches deck of magical herbalism, since this is a health reading. It's only right? So let's start with that. Okay. So spirit and collective ancestors that has the collective's best interest at heart. What does the collective need to know when it comes to our health? What do we need to know? What do we need to do? What do we need to not do? What do we need to know? I gotta keep looking up, y'all, because I'm making sure this shit ain't going out of focus. I don't know why I be doing that. It's so annoying. Okay. I'm like, am I gonna have to pull, or y'all gonna... I would rather if it came out. Okay, it's looking like I might have to pull, because this is a different type of deck. All right, I'll pull. I'm gonna pull from the middle. Oh, okay. So we have Lady's Mantle. And for the magical properties, it says comfort, balance, healing, and focus. Okay, let's grab our handy dandy guidebook here. $49. Whoa. All right, so it says Lady's Mantle is a member of the rose family, ooh, that is often prized for its velvety leaves, which are almost star-shaped, ooh, like a lady's cape that has been spread out. In folklore, it is said that women would collect the dew that formed on the leaves, believing it to be a source of eternal beauty. Even today, this plant can be found in several skincare applications. Lady's Mantle is said to increase the power of any type of magic. Ooh. Okay, and so for the healing, the physical healing uses, it says it's a astringent, it's anti-inflammatory, it improves digestion, and it supports wound healing. This is something. Okay, so for the magical correspondences, it says the planet is Venus, the element is water, the chakra is the heart, the crystal is, I think that says lipidolites, and then the celebration is, it says harvest / autumn equinox. Well, that's right on time. Okay. Okay. So there's also a ritual. That's why I like fucking love this deck. It's like so much in one. Really, really valuable. So the ritual that you can use using this herb, it's called Ladies' Mantles Ritual. It says trauma and pain from past events can persist, and working to acknowledge them and give them the space that they need can be an ongoing process. This small ritual can help perform it as often as you feel it's needed. So it says 1 teaspoon of dried lady's mantle, 1 teaspoon of gardenia petals, 1 teaspoon of dried jasmine flowers, and a mortar and a pastel. And for the directions, it says grind the herbs with a mortar and pastel. When the powder is fine enough, carry it to a place outdoors where you feel comfortable. With the powder in the palm of your uplifted hand, say, I am whole, I am myself, despite my wounds and scars. I love the entirety of myself. I invite healing energy to flow through my life. And then for the second direction, it says, open your hand and blow the powder into the air, sending your affirmations out into the energy of nature. Wow, that's a nice one. I might have to do that one myself. Okay, guys. Starting off with that. Okay. So to accompany... There it goes. I can't really talk. Okay, so to accompany... Well, I'm also fasting again today, so maybe that's why my talking is a little off. But to accompany this oracle card, I'm going to pull from the African Goddess Rising deck that I just got. Super excited about this. And I also think that I would say it's in alignment that I'm fasting right now as I'm doing a reading about health. So some of you may need to fast for physical reasons and for spiritual reasons and for mental, because fasting is a holistic practice. Okay, it affects you on all levels. It helps you to grow on all levels. So give that some thought. Okay, what do we have? Ooh, well, damn, that was quick. Ooh. Okay, ooh. This is a pretty one too. Okay, it says, so I'm probably not going to say this right, so I'm going to put it in the video, y'all know, like usual. It says, Mami Kamba Bang. And then the word underneath it says, or the phrase underneath it says, speak up. This is interesting. I'll show you guys the card if I can. I probably won't be able to because they're so like, okay, there we go. Y'all probably can kind of see it. It's so reflective, so it's kind of hard. Okay. All right, so reading this. Also, like, literally as I'm doing this video, I'm kind of having like this feeling of what's the word? I'm kind of like experiencing like me trying to be a perfectionist, because I'm like, okay, this is my first time working with these decks. And I also don't like for my videos to be super long, because I feel like people won't want to watch super long videos. But I'm having to check myself in this moment, because yes, they will. People watch long videos all the time, okay? And I also have to be patient with myself and compassionate. That's my own, I'm literally overthinking it, like, oh yeah, no, I can take my time. This is my first time doing a reading for you guys with these decks, so I can take my time. There's no rush. But I just have to share that, because you all may be dealing with something similar. But yeah, get out of your head. Oh wow. Okay, so this is the goddess of speaking up. Her temple, it says griots. The element is water. Okay, so this is definitely about like our emotions. I think this is going to be more so about like mental health. Yeah. Could also be about a water sign as well, because water was included in the element of this card is water as well. Okay, so it says Mami Cuba Bang protects the mouth of the Senegal River. When making an offering to her, you must not speak to anyone else, coming or going. Oh. Sing for her, chant for her, call to her. Give Goddess Kumba your voice and she'll be happy. I like that. Speak up, speak out, speak on it. You have the right to be heard. And for the embodiment, it says, you are betraying yourself by not speaking up. Your words have power. Own your voice. As the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Being neutral is not an option. When you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. What do you stand for? Tell someone today. And the goddess declaration is, I reclaim my voice. I speak out and speak up. Okay, this is interesting. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck here, we have storms. And at the top, we have grief. Wow. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to pull those two out too. I'm not going to read the description, but I feel like I already... Yeah, I don't need to read the description for those. Interesting. Okay, so from these cards that I pulled already, I can already tell that this is, like I said, like I was saying earlier, this is about like mental health, mental and emotional. Yeah, it's about something, or it could be multiple things that's affecting your mental health. But the main thing is trauma, unhealed trauma, unresolved trauma. Some of you have unprocessed grief. Some of you, your throat chakra is blocked. The fact that you're not speaking up and saying how you really feel, and no matter what the situation or the environment is, it could be at work, in your personal relationships, just out in public with strangers. The point is that you're not speaking up enough, and that is causing problems. It's like mental unrest for you because you're so busy thinking about, like, it's like you're bottling it up, literally. You're bottling it up. And if you ever bottled up your emotions and how you feel and all of that before, you know that does not feel very good. You know, not only is it taxing mentally and emotionally, but eventually you start to feel them in your physical body too when you don't release these things, when you don't express yourself. Yeah. Someone is needing to process some trauma. And it's honestly probably been coming up for you as of late. Whatever this is, you probably have been getting triggered. But you're still avoiding it for some reason. You're still avoiding whatever this is. You're still avoiding it. You're distracting yourself with these things that are good and healthy. So like, because of what you're doing is good and healthy for you, like in the general sense, it kind of takes away from the fact, you know, that you're still distracting yourself with these things, which is the unhealthy part, right? And from the outside looking in, it's the same way with other people. Like, they see, oh, you're doing all these good things, you know, for yourself and others. So they have no idea of the storm that's going on the inside. And for some of you, you also have no idea because you're so like far removed from it. You've stuffed it down. You're disassociating. You've gotten so used to living life like that, like where it's like it feels natural. Like you don't even recognize, like, damn, I'm suppressing. It's like it's something like looking you in your face, right? Let's say like you're just sitting down and you're on your computer, right? And you're doing something on your computer that's good for you, maybe good for somebody else, right? You just, you know, but like there's like this fucking black like shadow just like staring directly at you. But at first, you know, you would look at it and you would kind of be concerned, right? But you were also afraid to ask it its name. Like, who are you? What is this? Why are you here? Right? So then you just kind of start to act like it's not there, because you notice that if you act like it's not there, it kind of goes away, but not really. It's not as intimidating. You're like, okay, whatever. And over time, you get used to it. You know, you wake up and it's right there, welcoming you out of bed. And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm used to it now. You know, so it's like you see it, you feel it, you hear it, but you have made it like a regular thing to ignore it, whatever this it is. So not only are you suppressing it and distracting yourself from whatever it is, and it could be more than one thing. I mean, it's trauma, right? Trauma has layers. But you're also stopping other people from helping you because you're not being real with yourself about it. About that you need help, right? That you need support, okay? You have to be real with yourself first before you can be real with anybody else, before anybody else can help you. For real. And so far as numerology goes, so here we have 29, and then that breaks down to 11, and we don't break 11 down in numerology, so that's just 11. We have 13, which breaks down to 4, and then we have 33, which is going to be 6. So those numbers may mean something to you. You may want to look into like further so far as numerology goes, what those numbers mean. You could also ask your spirit team, what does it mean for you specifically? Because like numerology and also angel numbers, if you're into that, it's like a general guide, but the actual numbers are going to mean something different for you specifically. And a lot of times it's different each time too. So that's why you have to ask your spirit team, which is like your ancestors, God, right? Your spirit guides. Okay, what does this mean? Okay. So let's add these numbers up, actually. I feel like I'm being called to add all of them. So we have 6, we have 4, and we have 11. Ah, so 3. Balance. You may be out of balance. Or you probably, oh yeah, you probably feel out of balance mentally and emotionally speaking. Like you got a imbalance in that degree, which it makes sense. I mean, trauma does that to us, right? So you got to be willing to like walk through the storm, because while you're doing that, okay, you're going to start learning yourself. You're going to start understanding, because I experienced this trauma, this is why I do this, or this is why I don't do this. This is why I self-sabotage, you know, stuff like that. So you going through the storm is essentially you doing shadow work, which is not easy, because a lot of times with shadow work, we come to the conclusion that we are the problem and that we are in our own way. And let me tell you, that is a ego death like no other. When you start to see like, damn, all these years I've been in my own way. I mean, yes, granted, other people have probably done you wrong too. Yes. But it gets to a point where you cannot blame other people anymore. Okay? You got to figure this shit out. You got to, okay, how am I still in my own way? Especially if you've been healing and you've been clearing out the people who you feel like were the problem, and you still got a problem. Okay? So sometimes it is other people. Sometimes it's you. Most of the time it's both. I feel very calm doing this reading. I like it. I do. In the past, when I've done readings, I've felt like I've had to kind of portray like this certain image. Like I was afraid if I really took the time to just receive, and like whatever that looked like, it wouldn't be received properly, like, you know. And I made a video about this like about a year ago. But I just had to remind myself of that, like to just be patient, slow down, and just let it come. Some messages are like that, and then some messages, they come slower. I have to really just kind of sit here and receive it. And another thing that I've learned too on my journey of like deepening my gifts is that your thoughts block your intuition. Like if you're overthinking it, so say like for instance, if you ask your spirit team a question, right? And then you start to think about it. Like you start to think of the answer. Like you're trying to figure out the answer. But it's like you literally just ask them to give you the answer. So it's like you're blocking them by trying to think for yourself, if that makes sense. Because it's like, if you ask them to give you the answer, then why are you sitting up here trying to think? Just like in that point, you don't need to think. You just need to relax your body, your body and your mind, and just receive. Things can't be rushed. You got to take your time. And, you know, that may be the case for some of y'all. Y'all may be trying to speed through the healing process. That's not how that works. Sorry, baby. That is not how that works. That ain't gonna never work. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's pull. We gotta pull from the tea. Because what's the tea with this healing? What else? What else? What's the tea? Okay. Let's pull it from here. I love this deck. Like, these cards are so smooth. Like, they just glide in my hands. They just glide. I love it. I feel like all cards need to be made with whatever material this is. Okay, so we have cyberbully, online attacks, hiding behind the scenes, words can still wound. But we have that in the reverse though. It's in the reverse. And then haunted came out too. So it says haunted, memories, flashbacks, trauma, side effects. Yeah, this I don't even know if this other one was supposed to come out. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how does that connect to the reading. This haunted card makes sense, but this one I'm like, how does that even, that don't even make any sense. Let me put this down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, so was this cyber bully card supposed to come out like this in the reverse? Like, okay, yeah, it says yes. Okay. What is this cyberbully in reverse? Let's confirm that. What is this cyberbully in reverse? Oh shit. Okay, this is, yeah. Okay. This is exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so what I was going to say was that some of you may be thinking that somebody is like stalking you on social media. Like you may have been being like, or feeling paranoid. But it came out in the reverse though. So, I'm getting that it may be all in your head, because to confirm this, the Lovers came out. So you may have been feeling that way about somebody. Either you, well, I'm hoping this ain't somebody you still involved with, because I mean, if you getting this energy, yeah, it's either somebody you're involved with or you was involved with romantically. Like you probably, I think you've been thinking like they've been stalking you or even like trying to maybe even try to like mess with your social media in some way, maybe like hack it, you know, maybe get your page taken down, like something with like your social media, with like your platform. But I mean, this came out in the reverse, so this isn't happening. And it's like, and also it's like, even if they're trying, they're not going to be successful. That shit is not going to stick. So whoever that's for. Yeah, so back to this haunted card. This is just further confirming what we've been talking about so far. Like, and this is, oh yeah, this is confirming what I said earlier, where I was like, you have probably been triggered lately by a specific trauma that you have experienced. It's been coming back up for you, and you want to stuff it down. You want to be like, you want to do something to drown it out, to distract yourself, you know, whatever it may be. Okay, whatever your drug of choice is. And like I was saying earlier, it doesn't have to be that you're drowning it out with unhealthy stuff. You can also be drowning it out with healthy stuff, but the fact that you're using it to drown this out is unhealthy. Okay. Yeah, right now could be a pretty dark time for you. You got to face it. You have to face it. And you can do it bit by bit, you know. You can give yourself breaks too. You don't have to do it all at once. Because when you are like working through trauma, especially like when you're kind of going back to like when these things happen to you, that can be very heavy. It can be very hard. So you don't have to do it all in a day. You can, you know, you can work on it 1 week, take a break the next week, you know, see your therapist bi-weekly, you know, give yourself some time, but do deal with it. Do deal with it. Because what's going to happen if they don't deal with it? Okay. I'll use the what's the T. What's going to happen if they don't deal with this trauma? I feel like I already know, but you know, hey. What's going to happen if they don't deal with it? Okay, so the card that came out, it says Forcer, pushy energy, crosses your boundaries, gets what they want by any means. So when this card came out, I immediately kind of got this feeling of like SA, like somebody experiencing, like I felt very uncomfortable. Like it was like this kind of rush that came over my body. So that could be the trauma that's coming up for you. Maybe you experienced SA in some way. Oh, I see. Also, okay, because what I asked was, if you don't deal with this trauma, what will happen? So essentially, if you don't deal with this trauma, you're going to keep ending up in relationships with people, whether it's romantic or friends, that are toxic, essentially. Because that's what this energy is. It says forcer, pushy energy, crosses your boundaries, gets what they want by any means. That's toxic. That is not somebody who cares about you. That is not somebody who have your best interest at heart. But oftentimes, when we have unresolved trauma, we can end up in situations like this, right? And sometimes it could even go so far as this person being abusive in some way, okay? Yeah, you're going to keep, if you don't heal, you're going to keep ending up in these relationships. And like I said, it's not just romantic, it's platonic too. You're going to keep ending up in these situations. If you don't take the time to figure out what is my part in this, that's what it's going to be. And I don't want that for you. We don't want toxic for you. We don't want that. So you got to heal, baby. You deserve better, but from you first. Oh, my heart aches. Like I have this feeling of, I can't even explain it. It's like somebody just told me that somebody did something to them, and like, you know how you empathy, like I feel bad, I feel sad for them. That's what I got when that as soon as this card came out, that's what I started feeling. Like it was like instant. I was like, whoa, like it was like a chill over my body. But that's what's gonna happen. And it's not because you're being punished. It's not because, you know, you're being punished by, like, you know, God or your ancestor. That's not what this is about. It's about you and your actions. That's what it leads to. You keep going on unhealed, you're going to keep running into unhealed people, and you're going to keep dealing with it, settling for that, putting up with it, right? And for some of you, it's very necessary for you to learn how to be independent when it comes to money. Well, really just I'm picking up on money more, but really just in general, like really learning how to speak for yourself, speak up for yourself, you know, just live for yourself, do for yourself. Because that's another thing, you know, yeah. God damn it, I said it. That's another thing where, like, you could run into people, okay? We have the King of Cups here. You could run into people that prey on individuals who are dependent, who don't have their own money for real, who don't have their own minds, who aren't doing it for themselves, who aren't really whole on their own. Right? They could be, but they're not. If they take the time to heal, they take the time to go within, and they take the time to be alone, which is oftentimes very hard for these types of individuals, extremely hard. But if they do all that, then they could be independent and they could, you know, hold their own. But there are people out there who prey on people. They come in with this King of Cups energy, like they want to offer you something, like they want to take care of you, like, you know. But the reality is that they're a predator. And they're looking for somebody, essentially, sorry to say it like this, but that's weak. Okay? They're not going to get away with the type of shit that they do with somebody that's strong, that got their own, who don't did the healing. So, do not be persuaded. And that's not to say that you can't be in a relationship with somebody who can provide for you, but it'll be healthy. It's not to say that at all. You can, but it's best for you to learn to stand on your 2 feet first get your own first, and then you come together with this person, and now they got their own, and y'all, both of y'all come together, right? And now it's like interdependence, right? Y'all can be independent on your own, but you also can depend on each other, okay? And you know, like I said, if it's somebody, if they want to pay the bills, if they want to take you out, they want to pay for everything, cool. If that's their vibe, that's what they want to do, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you accepting that. Absolutely nothing wrong. Great for you, okay? Period. I do mean that. But you don't want to ever let it get to a point where you're dependent on somebody. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. Even if somebody paying all the bills, you still got money coming in. Period. You still, like, you always want to make sure that you can hold your own. And it's like, even if, you know, you're in a situation where maybe at the moment you don't got the money, get out there and go get it. It just is what it is. Okay? It's just better that way. It's safer that way. Okay? Especially when you like are first meeting somebody. You know, maybe after a while, after you've been with them for a while, and you kind of see that they're consistent and like they don't have these very toxic, very forceful, very abusive type of traits, controlling, pushy, right? Once you see, okay, like they're not like that, right? And it's been consistent for a while, then maybe you can kind of like, maybe not, you know, I would personally never say completely depend on them, like financially or anyway, but maybe you could depend on them to do a little bit more. It just depends though. Just depends. Me personally, I'm like, no, always gonna have my own. Always gonna have my own. But of course, that'll be up to you. You just want to make sure that this person checks out first before you start to lean on them in certain ways. Okay? But yeah, that's the message. Whatever it is, it's something deeply rooted that you've been running away from for a minute now. And you may think that it's just from like, maybe you're like your most recent relationships, whether it's romantic or platonic. But no, this goes deep into your childhood. And the relationships that you are experiencing now or that you have experienced in the past are just the surface of it. It's not even the thing itself. It's just the result of it. Okay? Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna do some last words from the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle, the OG deck, my first Oracle deck ever. This is actually the first reading where I haven't really used tarot cards too much, like the traditional ones. So this is interesting. This is new. But okay, last words, Spirit, Ancestors, last words. Damn shit. Choose freedom. What was I just talking about? What did I just say? When I was just talking about how I don't believe that anybody should be, whether it's male or woman or female, I was talking about it from a woman's standpoint because I am a woman and I have like been in a relationship where like he was paying for more stuff and I wasn't contributing as much, you know, and like how that felt to like not really have my own. That was actually one of the reasons why I left one of the longest relationships that I ever been in, is because it kind of clicked for me. I was like, I'm too dependent on him. Like, this isn't, I don't want this. Like, I want to have my own. I want to figure out who I am. This just doesn't feel right to me. So I ended that relationship. But as I was saying, I don't think that it's a good idea to be completely dependent on somebody financially, or mentally, emotionally, spiritually, any of that, right? So yeah, The ancestors agree because it literally says choose freedom. Okay, Spirit agrees. Do your own thing. Because for some of you, you may have been thinking to yourself, like a man, or in some cases, it could be a woman too, is like my abundance, like when it comes to like money. Like, oh, I just need to marry somebody with money, or I just need to be with somebody. I need to find somebody with money, and I need, you know, so they can take care of me. Like that's, you know, what I need to do. And it's like, no, you can date somebody who has money and who can, you know, help you financially, but you do not need to be dependent on it. They don't need to be your goal. Where like you're going out and trying to find, you know, no. Because you're not somebody who is just going to sit and take whatever they try to make you do or say you got to do because they paying for this and they doing that. You're not with that shit. You gonna speak up. You gonna speak up. You're not that type of person at all. So although it would be nice, it's best for you to just get it yourself first, like I was saying, and then build your own financial foundation. And then you meet this other person who got a strong financial foundation too, and then y'all come together. Okay. And you also, I just heard, you also want to make sure that you're not running into the person that's trying to essentially use you as a come up. Or if you run into this person, you want to make sure that you are like really paying attention. Okay, using your discernment. If they can't match you, if they, you know, if they can't take care of you like how you can take care of them, then it's a no. Chances are they're going to be dependent on you. And if that's not what you want, then you got to leave that alone. Yeah, it's like, it's two opposite energies. There's some people, they're not trying to be dependent. They're not trying to be in a situation where somebody can treat them any kind of way because they are dependent on them financially, speaking. And then it's like this other energy where they're not trying to date somebody that's dependent on them financially. So if that's what you know, if that's the case, then you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. And for the people specifically who don't want to date somebody who is dependent on them, some of you are going to have to work through some insecurities, because some of you may have been used to dealing with people who are dependent on you financially, speaking. And maybe even in other ways too, like they were just codependent on you, period. You were kind of used to being like their savior, you know, and that probably made you feel good at first until it didn't, until it became a burden. So you're going to have to get used to dealing with people who is a force just like how you are. You're going to have to check them insecurities. Yeah. You say you don't want nobody that's dependent on you, then it's going to be a whole different type of person that you got to date. But like I said, that person is going to trigger your insecurities. Okay? They're going to trigger you to be on your shit. They're going to trigger you to kind of look at yourself and be like, hold on, wait, well maybe, you feel me? It's like you got to remove the ego. Okay? So, yeah. Like a good example of that would be like a man who, you know, he's pretty good financially, and he meets a woman who is either the same or she may be better. She may have more. You know, if he's used to dating a woman that's dependent on him, that might hurt his ego. But also, it's like you got to choose one. Either you're going to date the one that's dependent on you, or you're going to date the one that's not and check your ego. Simple. Okay, so let's read this and then we will be done. This was a good reading. I got to use my oracle cards for the first time. Well, my new ones. I'm so excited. Where's my little book? Oh, it's over there. Okay, hold on. Baby, you're perfect. Don't let no one tell you otherwise. That song just came to me. Mesmerized, mesmerized by you. So look up that song. Might be something there for you. It's called Butterflies by, what's that man name? I know it starts with a J. Oh no, it's not. It's Butterflies by Isaiah Falls. Okay, so creature of fire, choose freedom. Look at you, riding up on your own white horse. You are a leader. Your vision for personal liberation is clear. Your passion is fired up. And we are full stream ahead. Your enthusiasm and confidence are magnetic. In matters of love, you may not be able to distinguish love from lust. Ooh. And you may not care. This energy is irresistible. In matters of career, your lust for life is propelling you forward. Get ready for change. The moment is ripe to make a shift happen. And for your ancestor memory, it says, the creature of fire is the animal spirit lion. I don't know how to say that, so I'm going to just put it in the video. Channeled. Okay, so this person or this creature channeled a, also don't know how to say that, so I'll put that in the video. But this thing is an ancestral lion spirit in her battle against the colonizers of Zimbabwe. That kind of checks out too, because this first card that I pulled that says speak up, there's a bunch of like black power fist on it. So for some of you, you may be not speaking up about like the struggles of black people. You may have been feeling like you may have been feeling like you want to, but you're not for some reason. So meditate on that. Okay, and for your ancestral medicine, it says, my beautiful child, sometimes your intense fiery energy can be all over the place. You are quick to anger. Get grounded, go to nature, and put your feet in the earth, the sand, or the ocean. Touch grass. It's great to be bursting with energy, but calm down and take a moment. You are doing too much. It says Knight of Wands. And then the declaration is, I am on fire. I make it happen. Period. You make it happen. Okay, lovelies. That is all. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you would like a personal reading, you can contact me at the number below. And I will see you beautiful people next week.